Now on a special edition of KGW News, a new development to provide housing and more. Back to a displaced group of Portlanders.
And making kind of nice spaces for people to gather, have fun, be with each other.
And why the family of a man killed in a road rage incident is now going after Multnomah County and Uber. Plus, the latest pressure by district officials as a strike among Evergreen school workers continues.
Taking this as a last resort action, and I'm hoping that good faith will prevail.
But first, we bring you breaking news in Southeast Portland, where police are at the scene of a triple homicide. Here's a live look near Southeast 64th Avenue and Flavelle Street. Portland police were called just after 5 this evening to a home in the area. They found the bodies of a man and 2 women who died of apparent gunshot wounds. Police say they initially responded to a suicide call before finding those 3 people dead. They're investigating this as a homicide. Here's what Police Chief Bob Day had to say.
First and foremost mission of the Portland Police Bureau is the preservation of life. And it saddens us deeply when we arrive too late to maybe intervene or interdict and complete that mission. And tonight, you know, we're saddened for the families and the loss. We're saddened for this community. This is clearly Portlanders that have come together tonight on this street to support one another.
Police say they do not believe there is an ongoing threat at this time. Right now, our crew on the ground tells us that Southeast 64th is closed. Well, the start of the weekend kicked off with some thunderstorms popping up around the valley and metro area, and there's a good chance we could see some more tonight. Let's check in with meteorologist Joe Ranieri. Joe, what else should we know?
Well, those thunderstorms have been rolling through parts of the central and eastern side of the state. If you're on the coast in the valley tonight, yeah, we're not going to be seeing any thunderstorms. But yeah, we kicked things off with some lightning strikes near Salem late last night and throughout the morning hours. Some of those thunderstorms rolled in to the Hillsborough area earlier this morning. As you can see, all afternoon and night so far, we've been seeing a nice straight line of thunderstorms come in from the south to the north, moving in over the Oregon Cascades. And there's going to be another threat heading into tomorrow as well. Some of these have been producing some heavy downpours at times. So as we go through tomorrow morning, we will be seeing kind of muggy conditions at times with the overcast skies to start things off. But by the later part of the afternoon and the evening, we'll start to see a little more of that sunshine. And meanwhile, over in Mount Bachelor, Bend, throughout the high desert, you're going to be seeing those thunderstorms materializing again heading into tomorrow afternoon. So be aware of that if you're making any plans. From the Timberline Lodge camera, at temperature of 53 degrees. I brought in that camera because a short time ago, that was probably the best way to kind of showcase just how those thunderstorms were looking, but haven't seen any pop up on the Timberline camera. But definitely muggy out there. We'll start to see those humidity levels drop here the next few hours. We'll pick up again heading into Monday, and there's another chance to see some more thunderstorms roll in for the early part of next week. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Joe. Well, in Central Oregon, more than 100 people are working to put out a fast-growing wildfire. The Black Rock fire is burning across multiple counties northeast of Madras near Highway 218. Since flaring up Thursday evening, it's grown to nearly 21,000 acres, doubling in size overnight. Fire officials say there are no current evacuation notices and no buildings are threatened right now. The family of a man shot and killed in a downtown Portland road rage shooting is suing Multnomah County and Uber for $40 million. In a lawsuit filed Thursday, the family of Ryan Martin claims the man who shot him, Jeffrey Hammond, should not have been able to receive a concealed handgun license because of prior arrest for assault. The suit also says Uber should have been aware of Hammond's history and refused to let him drive for the company. Almost 2 years ago, security footage shows Hammond shoot Martin after a brief confrontation outside the Moxie Hotel. Portland attorney Tom Diamore says recently he's seen a rise in these kind of cases.
I think it's a valid case that should be pursued. I think I'm a strong proponent that attorneys need to pursue these cases more.
Diamore says cases against local government and companies could lead to stronger regulation and possibly less gun violence. We reached out to Multnomah County and Uber for comment. We have not yet heard back. In Longview, a deadly motorcycle crash is under investigation. It happened just after 6:30 Thursday afternoon at Tennant Way and 9th Avenue. Witnesses told police the motorcyclist was speeding down Tennant Way when he hit a car turning onto 9th Avenue. The motorcyclist, a 22-year-old, was pronounced dead at the scene. A 5-year-old in the car was taken to a children's hospital with serious injuries. At this point, detectives believe the motorcyclist is at fault for the crash. We have an update today in the criminal investigation of a Gresham police officer. The department announced that Hector Carranza has resigned from his position. He faces dozens of charges, including rape, sodomy, and child sex abuse. Carranza has been on leave since November after the department learned of a complaint against him. In court, Carranza pleaded not guilty. He had been with the department since 2014. For weeks, Evergreen Public Schools families have been in limbo with closed schools as the district continues negotiations with striking union workers. Now, the district is threatening legal action if a deal isn't reached soon. The district may ask a judge to compel the union to end its strike, which they say is illegal under Washington state law. The school board says legal action is the last resort, but did vote unanimously to support the move. Still, they say if striking classified workers agree to a deal soon, it won't have to come to that. Parents tell us they understand the union's side and why classified workers in the district are striking, but they're eager to see students back in the classroom.
We not very happy, but we kind of understand what they're looking for.
The personnel that's striking, I feel like they need to get better pay. I do believe in that, but I also feel like it's just hard that it affects so many people when there is a strike.
The district's latest proposal includes a 12.5% pay increase for paraeducators over 3 years. That falls short of what the union is asking for. The grand opening of a new apartment building in Albina marks a pivotal step in the restoration of Portland's historically black neighborhood. And to celebrate, a block party was held for the opening. Jake Holter has more.
Certainly a joyous day here on Flint Avenue as these apartments come with a purpose beyond just housing, but giving displaced families and their descendants a pathway back to Albina.
You can go home again, is what we're saying.
Back in the 1960s, the construction of I-5 and the Memorial Coliseum displaced Albina residents, including Albina Vision Trust board member Sharon Gary Smith, who grew up on Benton Avenue just 2 blocks from the new Albina 1 building.
I sat with my parents and understood they're pushing us out, they're taking the land, they're employing eminent domain, which was very racially infused in the days, to be able to claim land for the purpose of serving the public as though we weren't.
Now more than 60 years later, Albina 1 is a way for those forced to leave to return.
This is evidence of what you can do when you dream big and you gather people and you don't let go.
KGW joined a tour of Albina 1 Saturday. The 94-unit complex offers 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartments, all designated as affordable housing.
We're able to rent all of the units at or around about 48% AMI or below to make them even more accessible.
1-bedrooms, for example, go from anywhere between $676 to $1,062. And most of the apartments will be leased through Portland's North-Northeast preference policy in order to ensure the apartments can go to those displaced from Albina.
It's overwhelming. It's so physically beautiful. This is a real study in bringing everything together, history and restoration and resilience.
And with a nearly $2 million grant from the Portland Clean Energy Fund, Albina 1 is fully electric.
This is literally a showcase for how you can build creatively, efficiently, effectively, for the long haul.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
A major max closure could mean changes to your commute between Southwest Portland and Beaverton. A week-long TriMet project begins tomorrow that closes blue and red lines through the Robertson Tunnel. The work will happen between Sunset Transit Center and Providence Park Max Station. Shuttle buses will be available for riders, and during the closure, crews will replace nearly 1,000 feet of rail and overhead wire and deep clean the tunnel and stations. TriMet officials say the closure could add 45 minutes to your commute. Still, some riders tell us they don't mind the delays.
I'm very pro public transit, so any upgrades they make is super exciting for me.
The shuttle buses will be arriving about every 5 minutes on weekdays, every 7 minutes on weekends. They don't need the tap to get on board.
You can see exactly where that closure will be on the map on your screen. Max green, orange, and yellow line trains will not be affected. Regular Max service will resume Sunday, September 14th. Well, it's hosted greats like the Beatles in 3 NBA Finals. Now it's finally getting a facelift. The City of Portland announced Veterans Memorial Coliseum is closing for significant renovations. That includes new seating and accessible seating areas, plus extra restrooms and other improvements. A soft opening is planned for October, with a grand reopening sometime later this year. It's that time of year where pop culture fans of all sorts gather at Oregon Convention Center for Rose City Comic Con. From comics, movies, TV shows, and more, tens of thousands of people came out to meet artists, creators, and fellow fans. Today featured events with local ties like the Goonies' 40th reunion, as well as signings for new releases.
I'm writing Batman #1. It literally came out on Wednesday, a brand new volume of Batman, and it felt like this is an appropriate time to come out and say thanks and sign my name a bunch of times and meet people who do this and make it possible for me to do this.
There's also a chance for people to learn. Oregon State University researchers are here all weekend demonstrating how robots have advanced up until now.
I like that robots can be used to help people. This robot, Sammy, is one that we've designed to be used in like assisted living facilities, stuff like that, skilled nursing facilities. So I like that people can just, they can do things that help people and make the world a better place.
If you haven't gone yet, you have one more day to attend. Late admission badges for Sunday are $67, but kids under 11 get in for just $17.
I'm Art Edwards in Eugene. The Oregon Ducks put on a show against Oklahoma State. Early in the week, Dan Lanning said that they spend to win. They left no doubt about that. Orlando Sanchez and I will have a complete wrap of the game coming up in sports.
A lot in sports. Also coming up, how a Washington program is using sports to help students deal with stress. Plus, how dozens of volunteers use their skills to beautify Hoyt Arboretum today. Don't go away. Welcome back. With many students back in school, this time of year can be really stressful for a lot of kids. The Washington Initiative is using sports to teach young people crucial mental health and coping skills. Christine Pei has more.
Preparing for life's inevitable challenges starts at a young age. And in a fast-paced world, often propelled by social media, taking care of mental health is as important as ever.
Really thinking about how do you manage stress, how do you get through a stressful moment, how do you deal with big emotional challenges.
Dr. Sarah Chrisman is a pediatrician and a professor of adolescent medicine at the University of Washington School of Medicine. She's part of an innovative program based at the UW's Sports Institute to help young students navigate stress not only through physical fitness, but through mental stamina.
It's a perfect place to kind of practice some of these skills that help you for life.
The idea came to her a few years ago while watching teenage Olympic ice skaters struggle emotionally after losing. As Dr. Chrisman puts it, they lacked coping skills for managing failure.
we could use sport as a way of teaching these kinds of coping skills, because when you play sports, there's lots of amazing things that happen, but they're also stressful. You're gonna fail, like you're gonna miss that goal, you're gonna like drop the ball, and you're gonna do it publicly in front of all of these people.
The Sports Institute points out that 40% of teens struggle with depression and anxiety, calling it a crisis. It's also worsened by the pandemic, something Dr. Chrisman says provided an unexpected natural experiment.
So during the pandemic, a lot of sports shut down, and I think parents saw their kids isolated, not physically active, not seeing their friends, and could see the impact of that.
Through a program called Mentally Strong, the Sports Institute designed an educational tool that trains coaches to teach athletes how to manage stress and reset after tough moments. Rather than using clinical terms like meditation or mindfulness, the program uses sports language like controlling breathing to help focus and get through challenging moments.
The truth is, it's to be a better athlete, a better student, a better human, because these are really skills for life.
The initiative has been piloted at Ballard, Ingram, and Garfield high schools in Seattle with the goal of launching an app to support more schools interested in the program.
That was Christine Pay reporting. Meanwhile, the hills of northwest Portland were buzzing with chainsaws this morning as more than 100 professional arborists helped trim trees in the Hoyt Arboretum. It's the 38th year volunteers have donated their expertise to help freshen up the towering 200-acre collection of trees. The park's curator pairs priority trees with highly skilled arborists. They climb, prune, and create wildlife snags and provide services that would have taken the nonprofit months to complete on its own.
Sometimes there's dead wood that hangs in trees that needs to be cleared. There are storms that come through, sometimes knock trees down or create problems.
Just went up the Grand Fir to help get all the dead wood out. That's a target to people walking on the path, and just pulled my rope out. We left a couple of stubs here as habitat for birds.
The event began in 1987 with just 8 arborists volunteering their time. It has grown to include 37 companies that help their crews, bring their crews, that is, to help out. So pretty day for that. We're joined by Joe Raniere, meteorologist now. A muggy day for that.
Yeah, a muggy day. At one point, I was looking out, at least in the Goose Hollow neighborhood, Thomas, the humidity levels were right around 75, almost 80%. That's downright uncomfortable. That's Miami uncomfortable, baby. Yeah, and we'll be dealing with it the rest of the Saturday night. But heading into tomorrow, those clouds will clear out a little bit. But if you're wondering where are these clouds coming from, they're coming from our east. There's a couple of upper level lows out. Some are in the Pacific, some are to our east that are producing some of these thunderstorms. Again, like I talked about at the top of the show, those thunderstorms were kind of rolling through the metro area, really through parts of Hillsborough earlier this morning around 7:30, 8 o'clock or so, and then down in parts of the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley as well. Looking into tomorrow, though, we're going to be looking at some areas of clouds, but for the most part, I think those clouds clear out a little bit sooner than we saw earlier this afternoon, especially in downtown Portland. You get into Salem, the Lynn and Lane County areas, you could be seeing some muggy conditions at times, and I think for the most part, the threat of thunderstorms isn't going to be pushing off to the west. It's going to be staying off to the east, but you can kind of see tomorrow night near Madras and Central Oregon, you're going to be seeing the threat of thunderstorms. And then we quiet down for Sunday night, and then we pick right back up with the chance of thunderstorms heading into parts of Monday afternoon and Monday night. Some of these cells could be intense at times. Regardless, some models are suggesting we could be seeing some heavy downpours heading into Monday and parts of Tuesday morning and really into the first couple of days of the work week. But as we look at some of the smoke forecasts, it's going to be thin and light, but it's still going to be pretty intense throughout parts of the Central Oregon area. As we look at the air quality, west side of the state, not all that bad. And even through parts of Central Oregon, it's down to the moderate category. Well, there's also a little bit of some moderate category in the Portland area, but you travel into parts of eastern Washington, that's where it's really intense, as you can see from the map. Now, I wanted to bring in the Timberline Lodge camera. This is pointing to our south, seeing if we could see any thunderstorms pop up. I haven't seen any yet, but again, they're still going to be rolling through here the next couple of hours or so. Tomorrow looks like this. We're going to be starting off the day with a slight chance of some sprinkles, some spritzes here and there, staying mostly cloudy into late morning hours. By midday, those clouds burn off. We'll be looking at temperatures topping out in the upper 70s and then cooling off a little bit heading into the early part of the work week. I'll show you that in a second. But so far this month of September, I know it's an early kind of focus group here, just a little more than trace of an inch of rain. We could easily go well above where we should be for this time of year for the first 2 weeks or so, heading into Monday night into Tuesday. This model is showing that we could be seeing some widespread scattered showers throughout Monday and into Tuesday as well. Temperatures right now are in the upper 60s to low 70s. You throw in that humidity level, it's just about the same, right around the about 65, 68%. So next 5 days looks like this. Tomorrow, I'm forecasting a high about 78 degrees. Going to Monday and to Tuesday especially, we're going to be seeing a big drop in our temperatures down to the upper 60s. So a little feeling like fall here the next couple of days, but it could be a fall, a false taste of fall, if you will. And again, we have tomorrow the full harvest and corn moon. So tomorrow we'll be looking at those clouds to sunshine, showers and thunderstorms for the early part of the week, and those showers carry over into Tuesday. A slight chance for showers into midweek before we start to warm up and calm down a little bit heading into Thursday and Friday.
All right, so some heat coming up, some
That's
heat
right.
in the future. Speaking of heat, Joe, the Ducks are hot. A sold-out Onsen Stadium today as the Oregon Ducks take on Oklahoma State. We have Art Edwards and Orlando Sanchez with all the highlights coming up after this.
His head on this week, and well, he went full of boo-boo. Opening drive, second play, Noah Whittington right up the middle. All gas, no brakes, 59 yards to put the Ducks on the board just 40 seconds into the game. Next, Oregon play, and they want more. Dante Moore to Decorian Moore, the five-star freshman breaking off a 65-yard touchdown. He also ran for a score. That's 3 offensive plays, 2 TDs, and they didn't let up, posting 631 yards of offense in those money green uniforms. Quarterback Dante Moore, he was in control. 266 yards passing, 3 TDs, 10 different players caught passes, 9 different players scored touchdowns, and the Ducks had more touchdowns than the Cowboys had first downs. 6th-ranked Oregon wins 69-3, the largest margin of victory over a Power 4 opponent in program history. Oh, and we've got team coverage in Eugene. Art Edwards was there for the party with more on the motivating force behind Oregon's 66-point victory.
The Oregon Ducks are firing on all cylinders today. The offense rolled up more than 600 yards in total offense. The defense scored a couple of touchdowns. Wide receiver Gary Bryant talked a little bit about what he thought went right for the Ducks today.
This year it seems like the chemistry with everybody, like the defense and the offense is gelling just so amazing, and everybody's like playing for one another, so that's why it looks the way it does.
The team paid attention to what was said by Oklahoma State's head coach early in the week, and they wanted to make sure they played well.
You attack our head coach, it's like attacking, my dad, to be honest. It's like you're attacking a family member, and I feel like as a whole team it's kind of, it hit close to home, and we knew that every week that it's always going to be some trash talk happening. But for him to attack Phil, him to attack Coach Lanning, or attack our team, it was kind of personal.
Dan Lanning said it wasn't the main motivating factor, but it certainly helped.
It never hurts when somebody pours gasoline on the fire. So I felt like these guys wanted the chance to go prove who they are. And I'm sure I got a lot of respect for Coach Gundy, but I probably. At his press conference, he's probably saying, "See, I told you so," right? Like that's probably what his comment is. But that doesn't change the way we have to play to be a winning football team.
Oregon wins the game 69-3, the final score. Next up, they'll hit the road and play their first Big Ten game of the season at Northwestern. Kickoff next Saturday morning at 9 a.m. our time. Reporting for Eugene, Art Edwards, KGW Sports.
Meanwhile, in Corvallis, the Beavers hosting Fresno State, and I can't even repeat on TV what head coach Trent Bray said during his halftime interview. Here's what happened. Something you just don't see every day. The snap gets away, and the punter, well, he just boots it, and there's Jaden Carrillo. The scoop and score 42-yard touchdown in the closing seconds of the first half. That play sums it all up. Special teams, a problem. The Beavers' long snapper, he was out due to injury, and there were numerous miscues, 10 penalties. They failed on basically every extra point, 2-point conversion, and still Oregon State was in this game. Quarterback Malik Murphy, 31 of 48, 371 yards, 4 touchdowns. OSU had 200 more yards of offense than the Bulldogs. The Beavers even took the lead with under 2 minutes to play, but they couldn't hold on, giving up the go-ahead field goal. Then the knockout punch right here. Murphy's second interception of the day is a pick 6. Oregon State falls to Fresno State 36-27, dropping to 0-2 to open the season for the first time since 2020. And it doesn't get any easier for the Beavs. They'll go on the road to face back-to-back top 25 opponents, starting with number 24 Texas Tech next Saturday in Lubbock. So really a tale of two teams today, where we saw the joy of winning in blowout fashion. And then on the other side with the Beavers, they've got a lot of things they've got to figure out in a hurry.
Yeah, a lot of frustration for the Beavs, a lot of lightning and excitement that is for the Ducks.
For sure.
Joe, one more look at the weather for us?
We're going to be looking at some, clouds to sunshine tomorrow afternoon. I'd expect by 2-3 o'clock throughout much of the city, we'll be looking at clear skies. And then we'll be seeing some active weather to start off the work week with a chance to see some showers and thunderstorms by Monday afternoon. We stay a little bit on the wet side until the later part of next week.
All right, make sure to join us back here at 11.